Hello, my name is James. In this video, I would like to talk about the differences between gender and sexuality. While it's something that seems obvious, there are some misconceptions about what these two terms mean and how they can interact with one another. Sexuality is who you are attracted to. Being attracted to men or women or non-binary people is your sexuality. You could be asexual, not attracted to no one, or pansexual, attracted to multiple genders. Your own gender has very little to do with who you are attracted to, although it can affect what labels you happen to use. Your gender is who you are and how you identify as. If you are male, female, or a non-binary gender, that is who you are and that is how you identify as. Terms such as cisgender or transgender are just adjectives that are used to describe people. You could be a cisgender woman, a person who is assigned female at birth and identifies with that, or a transgender woman, someone who is assigned male at birth but is ultimately a woman. Now, there are some ideas that people have where being transgender can dictate what your sexual preferences are. That is not true. For example, let's take a gay man. That man is attracted to other men. Now you can add the labels of transgender or cisgender to this man. He is still a man regardless of what he was assigned at birth. There is overlap between sexualities and genders. You could be a transgender woman or a cisgender man or a gender fluid person and only be attracted to women. How you exist doesn't determine who you love, and who you love doesn't take away from your identity or who you are. The idea that transgender people should be excluded from certain conversations, or that transgender people can only be heterosexual, is a flawed idea that some people sadly seem to have. You can't control who you are, and you can't control who you love. No one should have to justify themselves just because of the way that these things happen to overlap. Another term I would like to explain is gender expression. Your gender expression is how you present yourself. It is what you wear, it is how you cut your hair, and it is how you behave. It is not something that is controlled by your gender or your sexuality. Can it be? Yes, of course. Stereotypes don't come from nowhere. Masculine lesbians, feminine gay men, and androgynous NPs all exist. However, we aren't restricted by these limits. You can be the most heterosexual and cisgender man alive, and you could still want to wear a dress. Non-binary people all over the spectrum can dress however they want, wear skirts or be masculine. There's no limit to how a person can express themselves using their clothing or makeup or whatever. Like, the way that you dress doesn't determine what your gender is or who you're attracted to. Whoever you say you are, that's who you are. Whoever you say you love, that's who you love. There seems to be a bit of a double standard, where the option of being a masculine man or a feminine woman is open to both cisgender and transgender people, while being a feminine man or a masculine girl is just restricted to cisgender people. Even though you could be any of these things, regardless of if you are cis or trans. These are all simple concepts, and yet there's so much hate and discourse over what they mean and where they can overlap. These are all simple concepts, however, there's a lot of discourse and hatred regarding where these different terms overlap and how they can coexist. If your confidence in your own sense of self and being is reliant on putting down other people who contradict this, like, that says more about you than it does about them. If you're a cisgender and very feminine woman, you're still a woman, but like, that doesn't diminish a transgender woman who happens to present masculinely. You're still a woman. It's just, if you're so insecure in yourself and your presentation, you should think about that for yourself and not spend time putting down other people just because of the way that they choose to express their gender. There are transphobic gay people and there are homophobic trans people. There's so much discourse around these different identities when we should all just be supporting one another together. Like, just because you accept a lesbian, that doesn't make you a good person if you're also going to be putting down trans people. It's the LGBT plus community, and that includes the T, includes the G. It includes a lot of different things, and we should all just support one another and just stop this hatred because different people present in different ways. There's just so much unneeded discourse around these very simple terms and ideas. Maybe I didn't explain it very well, but this is meant to be somewhat of a broad video explaining certain things. However, if there's something important that you think I'm leaving out, I would appreciate your comments down below. When I was in the process of coming up with ideas for things that I should talk about in a future video, I guess this video, that process being asking people on Discord what I should talk about, the idea of me talking about racism in the LGBT community was brought up. As a queer transgender person, I felt comfortable talking about the previous things I'd been planning, what I've already spoken about in this video. But in case you couldn't tell, I'm white, therefore I don't really think that it's my place to talk about racism in the LGBT community. Although if you're someone who needs to hear this, being queer doesn't give you a pass to be racist, to get over yourself. Nonetheless, this user, someone by the name of Rohan, who otherwise wants to remain anonymous, asked if I would read something that they wrote. So I guess I'm gonna read it in this video. I'm gonna read it from here. And he said, "If you are LGBT, you are a minority. As a minority, you are discriminated against and harassed and attempted to be erased out of the world. You know what it's like to be discriminated against. So why would you discriminate against others? Why would you discriminate against other races and sexualities just because someone doesn't fall neatly into your misconstructed gender binary? Just because someone is a bit darker than you? Just because someone speaks with an accent? Just because they don't have a piece of paper saying they're a citizen? Just because they pray to a different God than you? Right now, millions of people are facing things they didn't ask for, things they didn't deserve, just because of people like you. Wonderful people that worked harder than you to get here, were stronger than you in the face of pain, and quite frankly, are better people. So if you're part of the LGBT community, don't discriminate against others, please. Thank you," smiley face emoticon. I'm not sure if that ended up quite fitting into everything else that I spoke about, but I still think that was somewhat important. All in all, I think my point is that race, sexuality, gender, and gender expression don't control one another. These are all aspects of every person on the planet, and this combination of these different aspects can manifest in so many different ways, and we shouldn't be spending time excluding people who don't have the exact combination that you want to see or that you think that that person should be. Having one of these aspects a certain way doesn't control how another aspect is going to be. Anyways, I think that's all I have. If you have any other ideas for things that I should talk about, please leave a comment below or send me a message if you know me. I might link some things in the description. That's all for now. If you like this, I guess subscribe if you would like. That's all. Bye.